actually going back to about the mid 2015, 16s, about 7-8 years ago. I trapped some fox, and you'll see in this footage I had a problem with a digger. And sometimes you have these issues, and sometimes you got to use some different methods to catch them. But I always laugh when I edit this footage because not only was I dug up one time, but then I put 2 traps and he dug me up, and you're going to see all that in this show. It's pretty interesting, but you'll see the fox trapping methods and predator methods that I use, and you'll be successful as well. You are going to have some issues once in a while, and you have to overcome and adapt, and you'll see that in this footage right here. So let's head to my Pennsylvania line right now. Right on this 2-track here, we got cornfields. We got this area here where the animals are in here hunting for mice and rabbits and things like that. But as you can see, it doesn't take much. Just dig a bed out. Don't worry about the dirt and all that. We're going to get that and take care of that. And then the next thing I want to do is put a hole in. Very simply. Get that down in there. I like to be at about not a 90-degree angle, but pretty close. 75-degree angle, 80-degree angle. And get that down in there as far as you can. I like the hole as deep as I can get it. That way, that animal's not able to stay back. He's got to really work that set to get down in there. And I'm using a Duke 1 3/4 offset. That's really what I do. It's got the swivel here. That's really all there is to it. Not a lot of, I don't wax my traps. I don't, you know, we boil them with logwood crystals, and that's it. So that's set. All right, we got that in. Pull that out. Now to set that, all you got to do, just pull a little sideways on the chain and you're all set. Now, the biggest thing, like I said, we want to pack this trap. We want to pack this trap to where there's no movement. And all I'm going to do is work around these edges. And this is really good farm dirt. It's got a little bit of clay and moisture to it, and it allows you to really pack that trap in. Got no wobble, no wiggle anywhere around the trap. It's all sturdy, steady, ready to go. Just take this excess dirt that we took out of the bed. This Freedom brand heavy duty sifter here is really nice. It's got these side things you can just shake. You can do a lot of different things with this sifter. And if you're looking for a good product, I'd highly recommend you check that out. Makes your job a lot easier out here. I like to create momentum. And what I mean by that is whether I make a dirt hole or a bowl set or even a flat set at times, even though it's a flat set, I still want the momentum of that animal going in there. I want them to have to work that hole and get down in there. And when they're stepping in, their momentum's going this way. We're all set with how the set looks. I like the way it looks. Stepping down in, getting their momentum in there. And with that being said, this is a pretty good set, and hopefully we'll come back tomorrow and have something in there. Well, we got a nice gray fox, pretty gray fox. As you can see, these sets, you make these sets, these dirt holes, or flat sets, whatever you're making out there, you're going to be successful. The reason I chose this spot, we have a cornfield on this side and a cornfield on the other side with this 2-track here, and it just kind of narrows them down when they're hunting these little edgeways here. There's a creek right here beside me, kind of a stagnant pooly type thing, but this right here is where they're hunting. They're hunting in here for mice, rabbits, things of that nature. The cornfield keeps them kind of narrowed in here, and it's just a great position to make your sets. And ultimately, we got ourselves a nice gray fox here today. I'm going to do the remake. I'm going to show you exactly what we did here. It wasn't much different than you've seen before, but ultimately we got ourselves a nice gray fox today, and starting the day off good. Put about a dozen sets out yesterday. This is the only action we had today. We're going to put some more out today. I'm actually going to go down here, going to remake this one. I didn't have time yesterday when I came in. I got in here late, I made the set, and usually you're not looking to catch those predators the first night, but I got in here, made this set, and ultimately only put one in here, but I want to have two down through here. Hopefully have a chance to get a double, but as you can see, we got a nice gray fox, and we're going to take care of him and show you the remake. I'm going to show you this remake real quick. Just get the grass and stuff he's got in here. I'm just going to take all that grass and stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll use that as my backing. That's got a lot of fox scent on it. Just put that back there. You don't really need to do too much. I'm going to re-dig this out a little bit for my trap. Right there. That's all we really need to do. Nice little gray fox though. It's always nice to come in and see one bouncing up. Get this set. There's that. I'm not going to use a pan cover or anything here. This dirt's pretty soft. This farm ground here, as I said, we got these cornfields here. But that bed right there, put a little bit dirt down in there. We got that nice and sturdy. Biggest thing when you're making these sets, I can't say it enough, make sure that you have them packed in. There cannot be any wobble. You see there's a little wobble there? So we're going to take our dirt and we're going to pack that down in these jaws. And one good thing about this farmland is you got like a little clay mix or whatever, and you can get that, pack those jaws in around the sides to where that's not moving. Get that packed down in too. And now, anywhere on that trap, if that animal steps on the jaw, it's not going to wiggle. He's going to get in that pan, then you're going to have him here. But that's pretty much it. We're going to find our old hole, which is right here. We're going to dig the hole back out. You can see how deep I get that down there. Basically, that hole's about 12 inches deep. I like to have a deep hole like that. Get that dug out. Over there. Rebed that in there. Get grass out. Make sure that's not wobbling. Then we're just going to cover that trap. One good thing about this set now, it's got a lot of fox scent. And that's exactly what we want. Any other fox that comes down through here, gonna stop and investigate this, and we're gonna have him when we come back in the next day. I like that a lot. Basically, that's all it takes to remake this set. What we used for bait here was the Rage by Dunlap Lures. We're gonna put some more of that in there, down the hole. Just use my trowel, get a little scoop of that. Get that down in the hole. Wipe that off right there, it doesn't matter. You know, as I always say, scent's all relative. Any of these predators are gonna know that a human's been around here. Whether you're trapping coyotes, fox, whatever, there's gonna be human scent, but scent's all relative, and you want everything down in that hole. When I use lure, bait, urine, I'm not gonna use any urine or lure here this time, because we have so much fox scent around here. But if I do use lure or urine at this set, I'm going to be putting that down in the hole as well. So we'll take our Freedom Brand sifter, just get a little more dirt, cover that up, and that's pretty much it. If you trap long enough and you put enough sets in the ground, you're going to have some issues that come up, which we're going to show you here, hopefully how you can take care of those. But as much as you trap, everybody's going to deal with this. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a beginner or if you've been trapping for 50 years, you're going to have animals, whether it's fox, coyote, they're going to uncover your sets, and you're going to smarten them up whether you did anything wrong or not. Maybe they stepped on something they didn't like, they started scratching. Maybe they're scratching with their claw, and if you use a pan cover, they catch that pan cover once in a while, and now you have an educated animal. So the point I'm trying to make here is you're going to get animals that are educated. And the question is, how do you catch them then? And you're going to see here, one of the methods that I use when I have an animal that has uncovered me or dug me up, I use 2 traps a lot of times. Sometimes I only use 1. We just did a clip on YouTube out in Illinois last year. Just last fall, I had a animal dug from the side, uncovered the trap. He didn't know the trap was there. I don't even think the trap even bothered him. Just the way he was digging uncovered the side jaw. And I you know, he's digging this way, so I know he's going to work in this way. I just basically, 2 things you can do there. You can leave the trap right where it's at, still uncovered, because that animal's going to come back. And then you build a bed and blend it in back here. But what I did is I just took the trap, I moved it back, I made that blend in, and we ended up having a red fox there the next day. I had made a mistake. I thought it was a coyote. I didn't look at the track that close. But ultimately, you can catch these animals, and I'm going to show you one of those tricks that we do in this segment right here. But if you trap long enough and you put enough sets in the ground, you are going to have to make some adjustments, and that's what we're doing here. And I think you're going to see how this is done, and hopefully incorporate that into your line when you're out in the field. Now this one's completely dug out, and ultimately we got ourselves a digger. You're gonna have that if you trap canines enough. You know, you don't do everything perfect. Maybe they, you know, wobbled. The trap might have wobbled. Might have caused him to, you know, be cautious seeing his buddy in the trap. But all in all, we got a digger, we got 2 traps here, and we are going to catch them. Like I said, if you trap canines enough, you're going to have this problem at some point. He didn't even get the bait out. I don't even need to redo the bait. But I'm going to dig this out a little differently now. I had him a little tight, trying to get him down in there, but I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit more. I'm going to bed it out farther now. But as I was saying, if you trap canines long enough, you're going to have this happen. They're going to uncover traps, and it's just one of those things. It's going to be the case. And you got to do things, and there are things that you can do. And we will catch this fox. We're going to bed that right here. Get that down in there. Get those jaws packed in. All right, that's pretty good right there. They're in there good now. But that's the placement. Before I had one right here where this one is, and I had the other one over here, and he got in around him. We're going to catch him in that back trap, and we're going to do the same thing at the other set down there. So if he comes in there, we're going to get him on this back one. All right, that's good. Throw that right there. Just messing with us, but we're going to mess with him. We're going to get him. But ultimately, that's all we need to do in this situation. Preferably you catch them to where they're not educated and you're coming in not having to put a second trap in the ground. But ultimately, if you have a fox or a coyote or something that's working your sets and messing with you, digging you out because he's been educated, use these 2 traps, put 2 traps in. Now, like I said, I had these side by side. I didn't really want to make it too big of a bed. I had them side by side. He flipped them, and he actually flipped the one and dug the other one completely out. So we're going to fix him. We got that one, the pan's about right here, and the other one, the pan's about right here. He's going to come in thinking those 2 traps are up in here, and he's going to get caught in that back one. And we're going to do that to the same thing we're going to do to the set that's up the road a little ways. But ultimately, we've had him in here the last 2 or 3 nights straight, and he's going to be down through here again.
Mountain Man bait. Our North American Trapper Mountain Man recipe includes ground Angus, fresh ground prairie dog, rendered prairie dog, and ground poultry in 4 equal parts, making up the majority of this predator bait. We add some other attractive and savory ingredients in this proven recipe, which includes beaver castor, tinctured beaver juice, liquid smoke, and other essentials. This top-grade canine incentive works great for coyote, fox, bobcat, and more. Proven products equals proven conservation. See all of our great wildlife control solutions at NorthAmericanTrapper.com today.
Well, we've been dealing with this fox. We caught that first one the first night or two, and I'd spent probably 3 or 4 days trying to get this other animal to step in between the jaws as opposed to uncovering the outside of the jaws. I showed you in the last segment where we put the 2 traps in. I did that at the set where I showed you, and I also did it down at the set down the road about 100 yards. But you know, that's one of the things that you can do. Just use your ingenuity. As I said earlier, you can put 2 traps. You can move the other trap back the way you think he's working in. You can make another set, possibly a walkthrough. You can do a lot of different things, but the more you do and the more you work at it, the more success you're going to have. And it took about 3 or 4 days, like I said, maybe a week. I can't remember how long it really truly was, but I did finally get to a point where I outsmarted this critter, and I just stayed diligent and went after him and made sure that I kept after him. And you'll see in this segment right here, we ended up catching the second one, and you know, we've done that many a times. We've also done it where we haven't caught them many a times. But when you do these things and you make adjustments, and that's part of it, part of trapping is always making adjustments. But when you make adjustments, you'll be successful. All right, awesome. We got this gray here. As you saw in the previous segment, we caught that gray fox here earlier a few days ago, and I don't know if this one, I think it's got to be the same fox. I think there's only a pair of them here, but this one here either got educated, maybe there was a little wobble in the trap that I didn't notice, or maybe he got educated running with that other fox and knew something was in there and he dug us out. So we put 2 traps in. And I showed you in the previous segment where he dug out the 2 traps. But we put 2 traps in, had 2 different sets here, and he dug that one out down there, but we ended up catching him in this one. But it's a pretty great fox. Ultimately, if you do enough predator trapping, and you're out there, whether it's fox trapping, coyotes, whatever, you're going to have some instances where you're going to educate some animals. And they're going to come in, they're going to uncover the trap. They're gonna, dig you out, as we say. But ultimately, you can catch these animals. It takes about another 2 minutes to put a second trap in, back off to the right or left, and when they're working in to think that they're gonna dig that other one out, you get them in the one that they don't think is there. And ultimately, it's always fun to catch a fox or a coyote or whatever in your set, but to catch one that you know was beating you is actually a lot better. But you can see this is just a beautiful gray fox. We got the 2 traps here, you can see, but ultimately, getting out here, chasing these predators, whether you're fox trapping, coyote trapping, bobcat, whatever, coming out here being one-on-one with nature is always a lot of fun. Well, that's the end of the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed re-editing this footage. Having that one fox just kept messing with me. I couldn't get him. It took me 2 or 3 days, but ultimately we did catch him. But you're going to have problems like that sometimes when you're out in the field. You just got to overcome and adapt and stay after him, and you can do that too. But it's really fun to be able to bring you this old footage and watch, how I did things. And really, quite honestly, even from the beginning when we started the filming process, I'm pretty much using the same methods and techniques 20 years later. That just tells me and should show you as the viewer that those methods work. And that's what it's really all about. When you go in the field, you want to have some success. And if you need equipment for that, you can go to our website, NorthAmericanTrapper.com. We've got pretty much everything that you need that's going to help you be successful when you go in the field. Proven products equals proven conservation. And we'll see you next time.